How's it going, YouTube? Oxy here, and welcome back. So, as I promised, I'm gonna talk about what the games I'm most excited for coming out of Gamescom, right, which ended this past Sunday. And yeah, a lot of great reveals, but ultimately, I only have three today that I want to focus on or that I find interesting. Not to say that any other releases are bad per se. It's just that these are the ones that I'm excited for, and yeah. So first one to kick things off, unexpected, but obviously welcomed. I was surprised by this one the most. That of course being Star Wars Dark Forces Remastered, which, if you don't know, is essentially a Star Wars Doom game. Like, a Star Wars game made in the style of like Doom or Doom 2 back in the 90s. Great game. I played it. So, cool story about this one is that I had a neighbor who, they have since long moved away, older couple, and they had gifted me the game Dark Forces in a big box PC. Like, they gifted it to me just because, like, I guess they're like, hey, we have no use for it. I wish I still had it. It would have been awesome because it was everything. Like, the game, it's in like a cool green box. I'll show a picture. It's in a green box. It had everything, and I played it. Like, they put the CD-ROM in the PC, and I got through the first couple levels, but I would always get stuck at, I think infamously, it's this level where you're hunting this guy, like you have to capture him. It's a sewer level where there's a lot of those creatures that jump out, and I'd always get stuck there because it was very maze-like. And at the time, I'm a kid, like I'm probably like 10 or younger. I can never figure it out. And yeah, sadly, I don't have that big box PC version anymore. I wish I still did. But the thing that got me just excited for it is that it's being done by Night Dive, of course, the remaster gods at this point. They've been doing everything from like, id Software's classics like Doom, Doom 64, most recently the Quake 2 remaster, which really set the standard going forwards for what a remaster is or what it brings to the table. Anywhere from that to like Turok. I know also at Gamescom they announced Turok 3 is also being remade. But I don't have much nostalgia for the series, so not my cup of tea. But yeah, Dark Forces. It's exciting because they're just like Quake 2. They're redoing all the cutscenes, which in Dark Forces was like animated, right? Like little stills. They showed you saw it in the trailer, the new artwork. It looks great, and I'm super excited for it. And the next game here, which if you haven't figured out by the little statue here, Little Nightmares 3. Now, sadly, I guess I will start this one that it is not Tarsier Studios, the original developer. They have moved on from the franchise, and I wish them the best of luck. And I definitely will look out for any future titles. And the new developer, Supermassive Games, has big shoes to fill. Yeah, it's exciting. Again, here, this is 6 from I think it's like the collector's edition of the first game. The whole thing only cost me $30. I bought it at a Best Buy. I was in there, browsing. I prefer physical games. And I see it there on the shelf, little box, It was only $30. I was like, I'll give it a shot, And yeah, love the game since. Really great. I love the world building because it has that Tim Burton, almost Studio Ghibli, like Spirited Away kind of vibe. And then the world has like this darker, like backstory, like the lore to it. Really great. Like it really encapsulates you. Cool little puzzle platformer again with the horror spin on it. Really fun. So again, I got the collector's edition for $30, which now I think goes for a lot more. But the base game was $20, and then they did do a DLC, the Ma, right, which was like, I think like It was in 3 parts essentially. With the new, I think they just called him the boy, or they gave him a name, but like a new protagonist. And the sequel too, loved it. It was one of the early games on the Series X, right? Like optimized for it. I think it came out 2021, I want to say. And I played in one sitting. Again, these games are just great. Like they're short budget titles. That one, I believe, was like $30 as well. Sadly, we didn't get DLC for it. Again, Tarsier pretty openly was like, this is it for us with Little Nightmares. But 3 got announced. Supermassive Games are the developers behind like the um Man of Maiden, or sorry, the Dark Pictures anthology. So that's one of the titles. They're the ones behind those games. They're similar to, like, for PlayStation users, like Until Dawn, right? Like that kind of like you watch the story but you influence it with choices. And I do believe they help port Little Nightmares 2, to consoles. So they have experience with it. So I'm optimistic. I mean, the game looks awesome. We have new protagonists. I know one of the, I believe their names are like Low and Alone. It's like a male and female. And again, the environments, everything, it looks the part. We just have to see if the gameplay or if they just hold up that, like, the mystery and also just everything. Because again, they're really atmospheric and I love the games. They're great. They're just a lot of fun. The only weird thing about this 3, so they're leaning into co-op. You can play the game solo with AI, right? But it's so you could do that or online co-op, no local, which I found was a weird omission. I'm not saying split screen because I know in a dev interview the lady representing Supermassive Games said like they don't want to ruin the experience. So I understand no split screen, but I mean it's the type of game where you can have like 2 characters on it. I think It Takes Two by EA does a similar thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't played that. I don't know if it does split screen or you're both on one screen. Like Mario games, right? You're on one screen. It's like, why couldn't you do that? So yeah, interesting. But I will give them kudos that just like It Takes Two, it's a buddy pass system, so only one person has to own the game for both of you to play it. So that's always a big up. And yeah, I'm excited to check it out, see what new lore. Yeah, Little Nightmares, funny enough, is kind of nostalgic, especially with this channel. I did like, I think a review of the second game, like way back, like one of my earliest videos. And then like a lore exploration. So yeah, that's another one I'm very excited for. And finally, a game that I was convinced was just never going to happen. And then it finally got announced. Funny enough, another 3, Killing Floor 3. So, 2, to this day, like, I think it came out 2017. So we're talking 6 years ago at this point. Yeah, like 6 years ago. And I believe earlier this year, it's been a while since I touched it, I'll be honest. I still go back to it. It's simple. It's like a Dead by Daylight, a horde shooter. You fight through waves. You pick your difficulty or you can do 4 waves, 7 or 10. But over time, the game got updated. They added like objective mode, like Left 4 Dead, endless. Like there's been a lot of updates. And they added a lot of weapons too, which in the beginning was like cool. They'd add them for free, but then over time it was like you had to buy them in like bundles. I know on PC you could do like a season pass or they called it an armory pass, which was for like an extended period of time. That wasn't available on console. But yeah, just fun little like mind turn your brain off shooting. I will say that in my opinion, the Quake 2 Super Shotgun is the greatest shotgun in gaming, but seriously, that M4, like just unloading into a group of Zeds, it's up there. Like the gunplay just feels fantastic. The feedback, like just like literally unloading into a horde. It's amazing. Like, it's so satisfying. I will say the game is limited though, right? It is a very much like that's all it has to offer. Like, you could definitely make the argument that it's repetitive, or it can get old, right? It's definitely a lot of fun on higher difficulties where enemies have like new attacks, or they behave differently, or especially when you have a full lobby, which I know in 2 was 6 people. I believe in 3 they're saying it's only 5, which is still a big group. Like, yeah, the game could get crazy, like especially if you're not kiting the Zeds right. Like, you could get caught in a corner. So it's a simple game, nothing big. It's funny that all of these titles really are like smaller, but that's the state of gaming now. Like, the Quake 2 remaster was like re-sparked my interest in like actually playing games. I since have got all the achievements. I'm on Xbox, or Platinumed if you're on PlayStation. I got all the achievements, and now I went back to the Quake 1 remaster, buy Night Dive again. Because I bought it. Because I'm more nostalgic for 2. I didn't really play 1. But going back, playing through the DLCs, I beat the original campaign and the 2 original expansions. So now I have to test out Machine Games, the 2 they made, Dimensions of the Past and Dimensions of the Machine, I believe they're called. About to check those out. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, that's what I can really recommend to people, is that AAA gaming isn't what it used to be. The only game I am honestly looking forward to is id Software's next game, of course, which is heavily rumored to be a Quake reboot, but I'm assuming it's like Doom 2016, where it's a soft reboot, but it continues the story, which in Quake 2 they connected 1 and 2, right? Like the Strogg and the Lovecraft. So I'm assuming this new story will, involve both enemy types and all that. So I'm looking forward to that. But other than that, I really do not care. Like, anything AAA is like boring. Oh, the RoboCop game, again, another smaller title. Like, smaller studios, indies, or whatever you want to call it, is really where it's at. And I hope this video can just, for those of you like me who are just bored of gaming and like there's nothing worth playing, at least to my liking, just check out what some of these smaller studios are offering. A lot of times they're better than what AAA companies do. Again, Little Nightmares is a perfect example. So much fun. Can't wait for all of these. I find it funny that there's 2 3s, Little Nightmares 3 and Killing Floor 3. And the Dark Forces remaster, again, I'm nostalgic for it. I played it. Now I'll actually finally get to finish it, and it'll be great to see it upscaled on 4K on my Series X. So looking forward to that. But yeah, guys, that's the video. Be sure to let me know how you don't care about any of these games, because I know all of you are expecting like Starfield or that sort of thing. Look, I'm not knocking it. It's probably going to be great for Bethesda and Microsoft, but I never played their games like that. I played Fallout 4 for a bit. It was fun, like serviceable, and we all know how Fallout 76 went, so I'm very skeptical, to say the least. I mean, look at Redfall. We'll see what happens. I want it to be a win for Microsoft, like for them to finally put out a good AAA title. Again, if not, it's up to, again, id Software, the Quake reboot or whatever. If it does become an Xbox exclusive, it's up to that to really like be like, finally the Series X has one, a good like exclusive. But we'll see. That's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you like this type of content, I make new videos twice a week, so please be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good jazz. And as always, everyone, I've been your host, Oxy. Take care, and I'll see you next time.